house, in the loud house. Duck, duck, push and shove, that's how we show our love. In the loud house, in the loud house. Gotta love mom and dad, not going completely mad. In the loud house, in the loud house. One boy, 10 girls, wouldn't trade it for the world. Loud, loud, loud house.
Hey, hey, hey! Merry Christmas, everybody! May I present a special Loud House episode treat for you today. 11 Louds a Leapin. It is the 53rd episode, as well as the first episode of Season 2 premieres of the Loud House, and it's also the first full-length episode. This was the highest viewed episode in Season 2, to 2.23 million viewers, and it is also the last episode to air in 2016, during the year of the series premiere of The Loud House. Come to think of it, this is the series' very first holiday special, and oh boy are we in for a special gift today, since it's considering that we're getting close to Christmas, and we are so excited about it coming to us, as much as well we like to see a holiday special in The Loud House. This is actually one of my favorite holiday specials compared to my number one favorite, Tricked. But let me talk about how this is. It is Christmas Eve in the Royal Woods, and Lincoln's about to head outside to ride his sled, while the rest of the family is doing their own kind of holiday specials. Like Luna's trying to come up with a new Christmas song, but having trouble with the lyrics. Luann is trying to do 12 Christmas puns before Christmas even ends. There's Lenny, who's trying to make a Christmas outfit, but is constantly using Christmas decorations, which I don't know how is that going to even work. I mean, I can't even wear like a tinsel sweater or even a hat that's made out of stockings. I don't know. There's even time where Bobby is actually having trouble coming up with a good present for Lori, and Lori is trying to do her best to resist opening Christmas presents early. Oh God, I feel like this girl should be put in a straitjacket until Christmas actually comes. Dad, Lynn Sr., is trying to make his figgy pudding. I wonder how that even tastes like. There's Lynn and Lucy, who are trying to search for every stone unturned around every corner of the house to find Christmas presents. Lana is trying to set a traps around the whole house to get one of Santa's reindeers and keep him as a pet. That's exactly what can you do with a reindeer for a pet anyway? And we have Lola, who's trying to be on Santa's nice list and trying to be as nice as possible. Let me tell you, that's no picnic of her being no Christmas angel. I'm sure you all knew that. By the way, has anyone even noticed during at the fireplace scene where Rita is actually putting up all the stockings that Lisa doesn't have a stocking? What the hell? I mean, does Lisa not deserve to have a stocking, or did she not want one, or I don't know. But it's all going good, right? So anyway, Lincoln is about to takes his sled for a ride, and he dashes down right through the hill and falls for only a few seconds and hits a simple rock, and his sled ends up in the backyard of the grumpy old neighbor, Mr. Grouse. Oh, that's not good. And Lincoln is so unsatisfied about this. Whatever goes in this yard, it stays there.
My yard, my property.
So Lincoln has to come up with a plan, and he calls his buddy Clyde over to tell him about the incident, that he's going to have to diverse a plan to actually get the sled back. So Clyde immediately tries to distract him with singing a carol song, only it doesn't make him last very much longer until Mr. Grouse finds the sled and takes it to his house. By the way, there was almost a naughty word that Luna almost says in this special.
Merry Christmas, honey. If you don't have a gift, I'll gladly take money. I wrote it down on my Christmas list. If I don't get my presents, I'm gonna get...
Good night, everybody. What the fuck is so funny?
Thank you, Yakko. So anyway, now Lincoln is thinking of something that he would have thought about all along. He's going to end up sneaking into Mr. Grouse's home and getting the sled back by himself. He ain't too much professional, I can tell you that much. Even the Batman would even say, you're not even that worthy enough to snoop around to get things back. You just immediately get yourself caught, kid. But when Lincoln does get into the house, he finds the sled, and he actually finds a picture of Mr. Grouse when he was young. And he has the exact same sled as he did when he was younger. Only to find out that he's actually in his house right now, and Lincoln's trying to evade getting spotted or seen. till eventually he gets caught and his sled gets broken. I know I said this once before, like I said in Get the Message, but I'm just going to bring something like this back up again. For no offense reasons to Lincoln Loud, I find him a bit to be a little more dope. And I don't mean stupid. I mean, like, he has no idea what the hell he's doing sometimes. When he's on a mission that he's gonna do it, he doesn't even just do it right away. He just takes his time while he's at it. And when he takes so much of his time at it, he ends up screwing up. Like for one instance, in the Christmas special, when he tries to get his sled back from Mr. Grouse, he took so much of his time and then he ends up getting caught for it. I'm not saying Lincoln's a stupid kid. I'm just saying Lincoln could actually do something a little bit more better and just get out of there, like play Batman while he's at it. Jesus Christ, Lincoln, stop wasting so much time shitting around in the house. Just grab it and go. Even the Batman can pull a better job than that. So Lincoln's got to clean up the own mess while Mr. Grouse is trying to contact his parents. But no sooner or later, a few relatives of his own calls him. He is unable to make it this past Christmas. Through almost 7 years, he's never got to see so much to his family. And plus, he doesn't even have that much money to actually make it there. Lincoln actually finds a picture of him being with his family. But that doesn't help much as he tried to convince him about family and Christmas being all together. And Mr. Grouse actually kicks him out of the house and just tells him to go home. Lincoln actually returns home and sees the rest of the family going out doing all their business. Blah, blah, yak, yak, yak. Just doing their own kind of shit they do. Until he finally gets their attention and tells them about Mr. Grouse. And they suddenly start to realize and understand what they wanted to accomplish during Christmas. They never thought about what Mr. Grouse really wanted, even for a grumpy old neighbor like that. In this episode, you finally know and understand about Mr. Grouse's feelings. I mean, come on, anybody can be like that sometimes. Must be hard to go up and see your family, especially when you're actually living in a neighborhood alone by yourself. But Lincoln devises a plan for what they can do for Mr. Grouse. And one of the best moments I ever heard in this episode, Luna actually gets a good song right.
I used to think that Christmas was about the wish list filled with stuff I never really needed anyway.
Boy, is it catchy. I've been humming it throughout this whole entire December month, and it is stuck in my head as I heard it.
Figured out this year will be the best one yet, 'cause that's what Christmas is all about. Merry Christmas from the Loud.
So after that being said, everybody chipped in and they used their own allowance to buy a one-way ticket for Mr. Grouse to go back and see his family. And one of the best shocking moments I have ever seen in this episode was this.
And since you can't be with them tonight,
We actually get to see the parents' face. Holy Christ. I was blown out of it just seeing their faces. I never knew what the mother actually looked like, but somehow I almost kind of knew what the dad actually looks like. With this being said, Chris Savannah actually confirmed that their faces would no longer be hidden after this episode. Oh, and please don't. Rita is just hot looking for me. Don't like her manly, but it's just how the way she looks. So Mr. Grouse makes an apology and he returns all their stuff back. Now we know our gay apparel on this day doesn't get... Okay, of course it couldn't get much gayer than these two. Oh God, do I hate these two so much. But I'll explain that in another time. I don't like gay people, but moving right along. But to make this a whole lot better, even for me to ignore that, Lori actually gives Clyde a kiss after he's standing under the mistletoe. And Clyde finally got what he deserved. The next day, it's Christmas Day, and the whole Loud family are opening all their gifts. And even Lori actually had one more gift to finally open. And it turns out it was her boyfriend, Bobby. He explained that he couldn't come up with any kind of gift for her. He decided to give her himself as a Christmas present. And it's all that she ever could get.
She wrapped up her damn cat.
It turns out that Lisa actually believes that there was a Santa Claus that does exist. Actually left a present behind the couch, and there really was one, and it was addressed to Lincoln Loud. It was a brand new red sled. He thought it was Mr. Grouse, but tells him that it turns out that Santa Claus actually did bring him the actual sled. As if this couldn't get any much dumber than usual, Lincoln actually takes the sled for another trip ride, and the same routine just repeats itself over again.
Loud!
Good God, does Lincoln learn anything? I mean, I know every Loud House episode has its flaws every time, but Jesus, Lincoln makes the biggest flaws ever, especially when he didn't learn it from the first time when he did it in this episode. But everything gets better when Luann says one more Christmas-related pun. Can you guess what that is?
Well, I guess that about wraps things up.
Oh, Christ.
Yes, I did it! That's 12! Merry Christmas!
Hey, looking well done. You are good at this, Luann. But she gets caught into one of Lana's traps and thinks that she was a reindeer. So this was a really very, very merry, jolly, holly episode I have ever seen in years. I mean, I know I watched some cartoons that are such childhood memories like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, A Garfield Christmas, and all that. But this actually brought something different into my life now that I can actually enjoy. Not only is this just about the whole Loud House family, it's all about the giving for what they did in the end for Mr. Grouse. And that's what Much Christmas is really all about. It's more of the loving that actually happens on Christmas. The winter scenery backgrounds are so beautiful. The story is nicely done. The characters reacting one to another is actually amazing. And the whole concept of this is just that damn good. I just love this episode so much. I could watch this almost every year of my whole life and never stop watching it, considering I am a Loud House fan. If you really love Christmas and you really love the Loud House, consider putting this to your part of your Christmas collection up there on the display, along with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, A Year Without a Santa Claus, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, A Garfield Christmas, even a Mickey's Christmas Carol. I'm telling you, this is a really special episode that you could be sharing and watching with your own kids as a family member around Christmas. And let me tell you, we're all going to have such a good Merry Christmas this year. As a matter of fact, before I even go, I bid you all a Merry Christmas and a super happy New Year. Save some cookies and milk for old Santa Claus, because he's going to be coming.